All right, let's give this a go. So let's see if we can make this work. Maybe, hopefully, this will work. If not, I think we just sack it off. Alrighty, let's see if this works. It looks like it's actually going to run now, which is a good start. Let me know if that is running properly now, because it should be. All right, we might be good. We may actually have a video. It looks like it wants to work, which is an amazing start. I've dropped it back to 720, so it shouldn't have an issue with that. Alrighty, looks like it's going to work. Beautiful. How are we? Welcome to the shit show. This is what happens when things are spontaneous and you don't plan them properly. Anything can happen. Have a nice expensive setup here, ready to go, ready for this exact sort of stuff. And at the end of the day, the old trusty phone works the best. All right. So please do let me know if it is working properly. You can hear me properly. Everything's, in order. And if it is, we'll get the show on the road. If not, we'll just completely suck it off. All right. So as I was saying before, this isn't going to be a long live stream. This is just almost a little quick check-in. Make sure you guys are all doing well in what is an unprecedented time and circumstance across the world. I don't think there's many places at the moment who aren't at least aware of what's going on, if not affected themselves. Right, running tech support in the background. So first and foremost, I do hope that all of you guys are well. As I was saying, it's an unknown time for everyone. No one quite knows what's going on, what's going to happen in the future. What's going to happen in the future, where we're going to go next. There are a lot of jobs that are at stake at the moment, which everyone's well aware of. No one quite knows what to do, what the circumstances are. They have no security in their own life with work or anything like that at the moment, which is one of the, I dare say, at the moment, the way everyone's reacted to it is scarier than the actual issue at the moment, just because the virus, the the problem at the moment. We'll refrain from using any sort of words that are too descriptive, because then I will get kicked off YouTube. But the what we're panicking over itself isn't actually as scary as how we've panicked. I think the way we're panicking and reacting is what's causing so much fear, which may sound silly and uninformed to say, but if you have a look at how it's affecting people and what's actually happening to people, it's not the people who are being infected, obviously struggling, and fair enough. A lot of people have gone through it, recovered, and said, you know what? Most of the time, it's not that bad. It's just like having a bad cold, which we've all had. But the fear that we've created and how we've taken it next level is what's really creating all this chaos. And as I said a minute ago, it's got to the point where even stuff like job security, something that everyone sort of relies on to be able to run their life and have a home and have a car and have food on the plate and a roof over their head, that's gone for a lot of people, which makes it a very scary and very hard time in a lot of people's lives. So what I wanted to do was try and create a distraction from that. And I haven't gone about it the best way possible, being 7 minutes in and talking about it. But I suppose that's what I've always sort of tried to do on YouTube, is create a little bit of a distraction for people from real life, and just create a fun and somewhat chaotic, mostly chaotic atmosphere. And I think I do that quite well in my own life to begin with, not just on stream, but hopefully I can come across and give you guys a bit of an escape and a bit of a laugh. So, what have I been up to? Well, so as you guys are all now aware, I do have an injured hand at the moment. I'm meant to have like a wrist brace on, but I take that off when I'm at home and just sort of chilling out like this, so that way I can keep moving and keep the muscles and everything going. So that way, once I am right to start work, not so much working, but start doing things again, you don't have the first 2 or 3 days where you're really stiff and sore and just moving hurts it anyway. So I'm not wearing the brace. The bandage that's normally on it came off as well, so you can now see the scar or the cut and where it is. It's only small, but it was quite deep. I did a good job on it, but yeah, I'm hoping that within another few weeks that's all fixed and I'm back to normality. Hopefully, I'm one of the chosen ones as far as the government's aware. So I'm one of the essential workers. So I'm still working where I can. Obviously, having a hand injury and being in retail sort of limits you a fair bit with what you can and can't do. Having an office job or something like that, it wouldn't limit me as much, but being hands-on and constantly moving stock and product around and serving customers and things like that, it makes it hard to do my job properly. But working with my manager and trying to figure out ways I can work still without being too impacted, or on the flip side, working but just being a number there and not being able to actually do anything productive. So I've been quite lucky in having a good manager who's been willing to work with me around that. And as I said, hopefully it's only another few weeks until everything's better and I'm back to doing the same stuff I always do. Which it's funny how much you get sick of work and you get sick of the mundaneness and the same old, and you slag it off and everything, and then when you can't do your job, it's really frustrating. It's funny how that works, but that's the situation I'm in at the moment. Apart from that, not really doing too much else. So I am back now living with good mate of the channel who was here before. I'm not sure if he's here still now, but I am back in Victoria. So I'm back with family and friends and everything again. That's why I've been putting more content onto the channel. of late again, and that's something that now I don't really have an excuse to not do. And I know one person in particular who's watching this. I really don't want you to let me um, slip behind in uploading and still having content, even if it's just doing live streams. That, yeah, the very person I thought who would be watching, um, especially now that I've got it set up, I can do everything. I can be self-sufficient again. I really do want to start pumping out content. At the same time, I am very much struggling for content ideas. I don't want to be another generic channel that just sort of follows trends and does that sort of thing and tries to make my own way off the back of current trends and stuff like that, because I've never been that sort of well, that doesn't help me, but I don't think too many of DK viewers are watching my streams. Um, that's me, a trendsetter. So, all right, Josh reckons he's a trendsetter. But I don't want to be another one of those people that just follows the same trends and rides the waves of YouTube trends, because I've never done that through my whole vlogs were a trend, but I took my own spin and did my own thing on vlogs. Vlogs was my niche to get into YouTube and how I wanted to start in YouTube. And now I think I've very much established, now I've got an established channel and an established platform with, a handful of loyal viewers. I can start doing my own things and doing content my own way, which is what I want to do. But in saying that, I still want to make content that you guys enjoy. And there's a very fine line in finding where that overlap is. So if there is any content you guys want me to do, Josh, Ben, that's you guys included, let me know what you want to see for this channel moving forward, because the more I know what you guys want me to do, the more I'm going to be able to do content you'll enjoy. Which at the end of the day is the only reason I'm here, is to make content that you guys enjoy. So in saying that, if you have any ideas or anything you want me to do, leave them down below in the comment section or comment them now. I'm going to start making a list in a folder of content ideas, stuff I could do, stuff I can go and, whether it's returning to vlogs and making a list of things I can vlog, whether it's doing random videos. Like, a lot of my old comment sections were, can you react to this video? Can you react to that video? And I don't want to do solo reactions on my channel just because, well, for two main reasons. One, reaction videos are something that Doug and I did on this channel, and a lot of the videos that you guys want me to do are very much videos that Doug and I would react to. And there is talks between myself and Doug to getting back to doing content together, which I would very much enjoy to do. It's hard now living. We both live quite a fair way away from each other now, and neither of us have much time on our hands generally. So it will make those sort of things difficult, but it just means when we do make content together, there'll be 4 or 5 videos that we have for each other to be able to upload, which will give us a little bit of leeway from all the comments that you guys have left in the past on my previous reaction video saying, can you react to this song? Can you react to that song? Because to put it bluntly, no. Reaction videos are fine. Reacting to music videos is a whole different kettle of fish. That stuff doesn't sit you well with YouTube. You might hear some big YouTubers talk about CPM, which is, to put it simply, it's how much money you make in ads per view, sort of thing. As soon as you start doing that stuff, your CPM plummets because you're using other people's content, and YouTube wants you to be original. And the money doesn't matter, but it's the fact that once your CPM drops, YouTube stops pushing your channel because you're no longer a good customer for advertisers. They don't want to put ads on your channel. And so to make up for that, they promote YouTube channels who they want ads for, because that's where YouTube makes their money. So as much as making music video reactions was fun, it's hard to do because the more you do, the less exposure you get in YouTube, the less people you can reach, and the more limited you are down the line. And it's something that really, and now I'm coming to understand, really does bite you on the bum. Doing those music video reactions back in the day, that was all fun and games. But now that I'm sort of at this stage, I've hit a glass ceiling and I just can't break through that because I'm no longer being pushed by YouTube. And I do also understand that I'm my own worst enemy there, because I do shoot myself in the foot. I do, um, as much as I'm still monetized, I do tend to break terms of service a fair bit with whether it be language or um, certain substances that YouTube doesn't like having on their videos, stuff like that. That over time it all builds up. All right. Ben says, do what you enjoy, otherwise there's no point in doing it. I do 100% agree with that. But at the same time, I don't want to do something that, I'll put it this way, I'd rather do something that I don't mind and you guys love than doing something that I love and you guys just don't want to see. Because at the end of the day, there's no point in doing that video. I could do that on my own and just enjoy it myself, but there's no point in making it a video if you guys aren't going to enjoy it at the same time. Right, Ben, you want me to react to one of your older videos. May I ask what video you want me to react to? There's a few in mind that it might be, but, well, instead of that, how about, Ben, we'll talk off camera and we might actually tee that up. We'll make that a video, and I'll put that on my channel if you don't mind, or put it back on yours. But yeah, what we'll do is we'll talk off camera and we'll organise that, and we'll flip reverse it, and there's a video for both of us because that's a little bit of a different concept, a different idea for your channel as well. In saying that, I've never been a gaming channel, and I know I joked about this during the podcast, but would you guys want to see me playing different games? It wouldn't be playing serious of games or as serious on a game. It would be just a casual, say, kickoff match with Ben on FIFA, or against Josh on FIFA, or playing little random games of COD or whatever like that. Would you guys actually want to see that? Would you guys enjoy seeing that on my channel or not? Only because, first and foremost, I'm not a gaming channel. I've never been a gaming channel. And to do that, you sort of, you get six of one and half a dozen of the other. Because as much as you might get new viewers from doing that, the guys who have been here from day dot might not want that, and that might be the turning point for them. So I think you can start to see how YouTube can be very political and very hard to navigate your content sometimes, because there's so many different avenues that you can go with your content. But if you're not looking after the people who have been there from day one, like, for example, Ben, Josh, Isaac, you guys have all been there from day dot. If I was to start doing content that you guys don't enjoy, but new people do, I would much rather have my loyal fans who have been there from the, I say fans, viewers that I've had from the start, rather than try and gain a new audience and get rid of you guys. I'd always rather look after people who've been there from the start than change my whole thing completely and just switch up my scene and go into something completely different. So that's where I'm at the moment with my content. It's probably a big 10-minute rant on what my content's looking like at the moment. Much like this video thrown together. It is mighty warm in here. This PC throws out a lot of heat, Ben. I am sweating buckets. Now, you just got a shout out from DK on stream. Well done, Ben. You do owe a fair few viewers to DK recently, Ben. Now, I know it's been a while since I've had a personal check-in. So the last time I had a personal check-in with you guys was probably the same video that I made, that the mental health rant. So I might have a quick personal check-in with you guys just to let you guys know how I'm doing as well. So obviously I have moved or had a lot of changes in my life, change of work, change of living arrangements, change of everything. Right now I'm actually in a pretty good place in my life. I've got old wounds out of my mind. I've moved on from old stuff, looking forward to the future. Starting to make new friends and new connections and reigniting old connections again. Seeing old friends for the first time in 6, 12 months has been amazing. Um, Being able to be around friends and family a lot more has been massive for my own sake. And I think it's important to bring this up, especially now, because in times like these, you really do need friends and family around you more than ever. When you're self-isolating, when you're alone for so long on your own or with one or two people, it is very easy to fall down a sort of rabbit hole of just thinking and thinking and thinking. And quite often when you do that, it spirals. Um, so it's quite important to, even though you might be isolated, keep in touch with friends, family, bludgers, mates from work, anything like that. No worries, Ben. Enjoy your dinner, mate. Um, but yeah, now more than ever, keep in touch with those people in your life because this is where you can really help each other get through this. Or if you aren't there for your mate, they can very quickly spiral, and the same can happen to yourself. So please, anyone who watches this, please reach out to your friends, even if you haven't messaged them for a year, 2 years. Just send them a quick message, check up on each other. Just let people know you're there for them. They'll do the same back for you. It'll create a really nice feeling. It'll make you happy to start with. It'll increase your positivity. That that anxiety will slowly start to drop, and hopefully we can all get through this together. I do want to reiterate though, there is no need for a mass panic. It will be, we will see the end of this. It's not going to be a mass extinction and there's no more life anymore. We will see the other side of this. The only way we will be able to do that quickly and efficiently though is by working together, listening to experts. If people say stay inside, they're saying stay inside for a reason. It doesn't mean go down to the beach with 500 other people. That's one of the worst things you could do right now. And for some reason, that's what happened today in Victoria. And it happened, I think it was last week, maybe, or the start of this week in New South Wales. I can't fathom how people can hear so much advice from experts saying one thing and then just go and do another thing. They're experts for a reason. They know what they're saying. Our politicians have advisors. Our politicians aren't saying all of these things on their own. These things are scripted, written, and confirmed. We'll say checked off by people who know what they're talking about. No politician does not have a group of advisors around them telling them what to say, what to do, what the go is at any point. They know what they're doing. Please listen. For example, Daniel Andrews, for about a week and a half, has been coming on the radio every day and saying it's stupid to be going out if you don't need to. He's been putting it as bluntly as that. He's put it in more blunt terms than that, but I won't say that on this channel. But just listen. We'll put it this way, and I understand this would never work. Logistically, the whole country would end up in so much debt that it will just never recover. But all it would take for this pandemic to end is everyone being inside for 14 days. 14 days is all it will take for this entire thing to be finished. No more, ceased, kaput. That is all it will take. And it's amazing to think that 14 days is so little compared to we're looking at 12 months of this sort of stuff, of not being allowed to go out and everything because people just can't listen. It's not going to take just 2 weeks because obviously not everyone can just stay inside. There are proper essential workers who need to go outside. There are things like trucks who still need to operate to keep this country moving. there still needs to be money turned in this country. If we completely lost our cash flow, we would end up in more crippling debt than the Liberal government could ever actually put us in, which would be amazing to see because I don't think anyone could quite put us in as much debt as the Liberal government does. But I'm not going to get political on this video. I I knew I was going to. I don't want to get political, but if let me reset because otherwise, if I don't take a deep breath and just forget about them, I'm going to go on a big rant. All right. Long story short, listen to advisors, listen to experts, listen to doctors. If you feel like you may be sick, have a cold, cough, bit of a flu, just stay inside. Just because you've got one or more of the symptoms doesn't mean you've got it. But just because you've only got one of the symptoms doesn't mean you shouldn't just stay inside anyway. Isolate yourself from people just a little bit more. It if you do have a dry throat and a bit of a cough, the odds are you don't have it. But there's nothing stopping you from still isolating yourself anyway. Because if people who had slight symptoms isolated themselves, people who had major symptoms isolated themselves, even though most of those people won't have it, it couldn't spread. It's quite simple. Like that just cuts out. It's a viral infection. The way it spreads is through air, through dust, through pollen. It attaches, carries, moves on. That's why coughing onto something, like coughing onto your hand, touching your face, that's why that's a bad thing. That's why they say cough into your elbow, because you don't see many people walking around wiping their face with their elbow. It's always hand. That's why they say do not cough, covering your mouth with your hand, because you will then instinctively touch your face with that hand. It's follow basic hygiene. If you feel like you've got a few symptoms, lock yourself away. be be smart. Don't be silly about it. Just listen to what you're told. Do what you're told. How many times do we hear that growing up as children? I have lost count of the amount of times my parents have just told me to do as I'm told. I wasn't allowed to ask questions. My parents said, do something. There was no questions asked. You just did it. They told me to do it. That was just the way it was. You just did it. And I know I'm not alone in that. Why is it we grow up and we get this ego-ness and this arrogance about us where we just think we don't need to listen to anyone? Listen to the experts. They're the people who know what they're on about. If they're suggesting something, they're suggesting it with foundation and research and base. They know their shit. You don't take your car to a beauty therapist to get it serviced because they don't know fuck all. That's generalizing, but they're not specialized in that field. You take it to a mechanic because they know what they're doing most of the time. When a doctor tells you something, you listen. We book appointments with doctors because we know they're the best people to see in regards to health. So now when they're telling us that you need to do this and do this, people aren't listening. And it just blows my mind. All right, I'm going to stop going on about it because I think I've been ranting for a good 20 minutes on this now. All right. Anyway, I was on health, on my health. So yes, I've been good now. I've come good now. Last time I openly spoke about my own health on stream was probably about 2 months ago now. I was in a very different place. As I said, I'm back with family. I'm back with friends. I'm back doing things I enjoy. I'm back making content, which I actually do enjoy. I'm seeing so many more people I know, faces I know, having fun interactions again. I'm just in a better environment in general, and it really has made a massive difference for my own mental health because no longer am I working, going home, not knowing anyone, except for my housemate. So I just sit down, watch a video on YouTube, and then go to sleep. That's fine for a day or two, but that's not sustainable. I was doing this for a good 6 months where I was just on my own, and it really started to get detrimental to my health. That's why I made the decision to move back, and that's why I'm very glad I did. I do miss Cairns, I really do, but I'm glad to be home. Um, where am I going from here? So I've spoken about where I want to take my content next, which again, if you have any ideas or anything you guys want me to do or anything you want to see on this channel, down below in the comment section, let me know. And while you're there, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, smack the notification bell to make sure you don't miss any of the content I upload. Shout out, Ben, because I just saw you pop up again. But I'm in a place at the moment where I'm not quite sure where I will be in another few weeks. If things really do get more serious, I will move back to my parents' place, just for the sake of my own health. I am quite high risk for the Mexican beer flu. If, as in to say, if I did contract it, I would be in quite a bit of trouble quite quickly. So the best place for me to be at that point in time would be out on my parents' farm, where I'm isolated from life in general, pretty much, except for my family. If nothing serious happens and nothing really changes, then I'm more than happy to stay where I am right now, and keep working on things. Now, working on things. So I know I've spoken about it on stream before, but what's coming up in the next, say, 6 months is friend of the channel, Isaac Wood, and I are working on some really cool shit at the moment. So the first one I'll take from a personal note is I'm in the works at the moment of rebranding my entire clothing line. I'm working with a proper graphic designer to redo all my logos. I'm working with an entire new company to get all those printed, made, and sent out to everyone at a fraction of the price, which means my t-shirts will go from the price they are now, and they will almost half in price. And I've never made a big turnover. I want to state this clearly. I wasn't selling my merch at the price I was to make a big turnover. That was me just pocketing scraps off everything. And the only reason I was pocketing scraps off everything was so that if I had another order, I'd be able to pay for that one, if that makes sense. It was very much just rolling over, and I wasn't making an income off any of my merch. How it's looking now, I don't really want to be making big money off it. It's just a cool project that I've always wanted to do, and always something I've had a passion for, and I want to do it mainly for that reason. So I'm in works at the moment of getting those done up, looking as good as they can, and really doing this thing properly. The first drop will be professionally drawn, printed, made, and sent out properly. They will be something I'll be incredibly proud of, and I cannot wait to get those out. It is still maybe a month or two away. At the moment, it's very early. At the moment, I'm building up enough money to be able to do that properly and get it all sorted properly. Because as I said, I don't want to, as I said on the podcast today with the Len boys, I don't want to half-ass this. I really want to do this properly because it is something I've always wanted to do. And it will be an amazing feeling when I can finally do it. I'm looking very much forward to it. Just like I'm looking incredibly forward to getting back into music. So Isaac and I at the moment are working on, I don't want to give too much away, but we're working on a very, very big project. We are both extremely excited to doing it and getting it out there. It's nerve-wracking. We're both in very different stages of where we need to be for the end product. We're very much started at different ends, and we're sort of working to meet in the middle. I'm working very hard on getting my writing up to standard. Going from poetry to rap is it's not a massive jump, but your writing style changes quite a lot, and it's something that I'm still getting the hang of. I'm getting there slowly. I am getting there, but it's just going to be one of those things where I just have to keep chipping away at, and eventually I'll get there. In saying that, I do have a few pieces that I've written so far that I'm quite proud of, and I would be happy to use in a song or a rap. But I don't want to just release something because I'm happy with it. I want to make sure that everything I release is as good as I can make it. So I'm going to keep sitting on it and keep changing it and keep adapting it to new situations and new ways I'm writing and things like that until I'm really sure that that's the final piece. And once I hit that stage, then you guys will be the first people to know, because I'm sure I'm going to do a video on it. But yeah, I might leave it there. This was, as I said at the very start, only going to be a very short live stream. It's been nearly 40 minutes. 30 minutes of that has been me ranting, standard. Um, I hope you guys have enjoyed listening to me ramble on. I do thank everyone for tuning in. Everyone who has tuned in, thank you very much. Anyone who's watching this on playback, thank you very much. It is very much appreciated. Make sure you subscribe. It is here's a fun fact for you before we go. Only 30% of people who watch my videos are subscribed. So if that's you, if you're one of the ones that's not subscribed, please make sure you hit subscribe on the way out. Hit the like button if you've enjoyed it and leave your feedback down below in the comments. Make sure you smack the subscribe button and tick the notification bell to be notified every time I upload, or in my case, live stream. Thank you, Ben. I hope you enjoy every personal little touch I give on the end of my videos now, mainly because you're normally there, but it's a little paying homage to you. I hope I'm not sort of stealing your thing. Thank you anyway, guys. I hope you are all well, and I look forward to seeing you all in the future. Peace.